thank you for tuning in for my review of the Game of Thrones graphic novels, volumes 1 and 2. First, I think that this is going to be a good review because, honestly, I have not read the Game of Thrones series in novel form, and I have never seen the TV series that's on HBO. I've only seen one episode of that, and that was the first episode. So I'm not really going to be basing this review of these graphic novels on those things because I don't have any experience with them. I took these out because I knew that this was a popular series, and I figured, I do like fantasy at times, and I thought they would be an interesting read, seeing how I own 3 or 4 volumes of the Game of Thrones books, but I have yet to read them because they are so thick. So my first impression of this series, I was kind of let down, and mind you, I don't mind when stories drop you into the middle of events, but I felt that there was a really poor introduction to this series because they don't really explain to you why there is so much corruption or why there is so much mistrust between these warring families. And you kind of get the feel a little bit for this world that they have long seasons. But if there was a little more explanation on that, I think it would have made for a more enjoyable read. I did find parts of the story interesting with the mystery of, who had killed the hand of the king. But aside from that, I think I was just a little bit too confused to really get much out of the story. And I really don't understand why this is so popular. I don't know if it's because HBO just makes a really great series, possibly. Like I said, I've only seen one episode of it, so I can't say that has any effect on the reading of these 2 books. So I did think the artwork was pretty cool. And that made it a plus, I guess. And for some reason, there was a script in the back of each volume for, how the book was put together. And it was written by the original author. He gave his input, and he also writes the introductions to the volumes. But even the second volume kind of started out where you were just kind of dropped in the middle of the story and you're not really sure. It's almost like the author assumes you already know all these events have already happened, and I really didn't think that was introduced really well. I mean, it's one thing to have a story, set in the middle of an event, but at least if you can introduce or mention what had happened prior. This they don't really tell you, but through conversations between the characters of past events. So that's why I only rated these 3 stars on Goodreads, 3 stars each book. I just thought they were okay. They weren't really great. I mean, yes, the artwork was, pretty cool to look at, but I really, just based on the fact that the introductions to the background and history of the stories was not very good, so I didn't think they were that great for that reason. Would I recommend people reading this? Maybe if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, or for people that have seen the TV show, maybe you would appreciate reading these, or if you've read the regular novels, maybe you would enjoy seeing these drawn out. I do have to say they're not safe for everyone to view because they do contain nudity and sexual references. Sometimes there is a little bit of violence, but not a lot. So that is my review for the Game of Thrones Volumes 1 and 2 graphic novels. Thanks for watching, and until next time, later guys.